You know, sometimes the best stories in science are the ones we never meant to write. And today, we're diving into one of the biggest cosmic accidents of all time. It's a tale about hunting for a phantom planet, a case of mistaken identity, and the discovery of a world that turned out to be more incredible than anyone ever dreamed. This is the amazing, accidental story of Pluto.
I mean, how does that even happen? It sounds completely bonkers, right? But the thing is, the search for Pluto was never actually about finding Pluto. Astronomers were on the hunt for a massive, powerful world, and they stumbled upon this little guy thanks to a simple math error that nobody caught for decades.
So to really get this, we've got to go back in time, way back actually, to the late 1700s, where a cosmic puzzle had astronomers totally baffled. They were hunting for a ghost, a phantom in the sky.
Okay, so it all kicks off like a series of dominoes. In 1781, we discover Uranus. Awesome, but there's a problem. It's wobbling in its orbit, not quite following the rules of gravity. So astronomers figured something huge must be out there, tugging on it. And they were right. In 1846, they found Neptune, pretty much exactly where they predicted it would be. But get this, even after finding Neptune, Uranus was still acting weird. The wobble was still there. So the only logical conclusion was there had to be another massive planet out there.
They gave this mysterious ghost a name, Planet X. The hunt was on for a true giant, something big enough to pull on two ice giants from billions of miles away. The search got so serious that one astronomer, Percival Lowell, actually built his own observatory in Arizona just to find this thing. Talk about dedication.
So the search for Planet X went on for years, even after Lowell himself passed away. But the big moment was right around the corner, and it was about to lead to a discovery that absolutely no one saw coming.
After Lowell's death, the job fell to a young, incredibly determined astronomer named Clyde Tombaugh. And his job, well, it was mind-numbingly tedious. He had to take pictures of the sky, wait a few nights, take the exact same pictures again, and then compare them, dot by dot. He used this really clever device called a blink comparator. Basically, it would flash the two photos back and forth, one after the other. All the distant stars would stay perfectly still, but anything closer, like a planet, would look like it was jumping. For months, he stared at these plates, for hours on end, and then, one day in February 1930, he saw it. A tiny, faint dot, jumping against the backdrop of stars.
That was it. They'd found Planet X. The world went wild. And the new planet got its name, Pluto, thanks to an 11-year-old girl in England who thought a dark, cold world should be named after the Roman god of the underworld. The mystery that had lasted 150 years was finally solved, right? Well, not exactly.
See, there was a tiny problem that grew into a huge one. It took decades, but in 1978, we discovered Pluto's moon, Charon. And by watching Charon's orbit, we could finally accurately calculate Pluto's mass. The number that came back was just shocking. Pluto was only 0.2% the mass of Earth. It was a cosmic featherweight. There was no way something that small could ever tug on a giant like Neptune.
And just like that, a brand new mystery was born. If Pluto wasn't Planet X, then what was? What was out there causing all that gravitational chaos in the outer solar system? What was the real culprit?
And here is the single biggest plot twist in this entire story. The answer to what was pulling on Neptune? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. There was no Planet X. The wobbles never even existed. In 1989, the Voyager 2 spacecraft flew by Neptune and gave us its true mass for the first time. Turns out, the old estimates were off by just 0.5%. When astronomers plugged that new, correct number into the equations, Uranus's wobble just disappeared. The entire search, all 150 years of it, was based on a simple mistake in the math. Pluto was found by pure, dumb luck.
So this accidental discovery, plus finding other Pluto-sized objects out there like Eris, it kind of threw astronomy for a loop. We had found this whole new category of things in our solar system, and it forced us to ask a really basic question. What even is a planet anyway?
So in 2006, the International Astronomical Union got together to set some official rules. They said, to be a planet, you have to do 3 things. 1, you got to orbit the sun, easy enough. 2, you need to be massive enough for your own gravity to pull you into a ball shape. And 3, this is the big one, you have to be the gravitational boss of your own orbit.
So let's run Pluto through the checklist. Does it orbit the sun? Yep, check. Is it round? Yep, check. Has it cleared its orbit? Nope. And that's the one it fails.
See, Pluto lives in this super crowded area called the Kuiper Belt, with tons of other icy objects. It's just not big enough to be the bully. It can't absorb all its neighbors or kick them out of the way like Earth does.
Because of that, Pluto was reclassified. But it wasn't so much a demotion as it was a promotion. It became the first, the king, of this brand new, super exciting category of worlds, the dwarf planets.
For a long time, that's kind of where the story ended. But Pluto's greatest, most incredible chapter was still to come. This accidental discovery was about to be revealed as a true world of wonders. Even before we got a good look at it, scientists suspected Pluto was hiding some secrets. But absolutely no one was prepared for what NASA's New Horizons spacecraft was about to find when it finally screamed past Pluto after a 9-year journey across the solar system.
Let's be real. Expectations were pretty low. Most scientists thought New Horizons would beam back photos of a cold, dead, boring little ice ball, covered in craters from billions of years of getting smacked by space rocks. But what we actually got back just blew everyone's minds. Pluto wasn't dead. It was alive. It was stunningly colorful, geologically active, and more complex and beautiful than we ever could have imagined. I mean, the discoveries were just breathtaking. There's a giant heart-shaped glacier made of flowing nitrogen ice. There's this reddish-orange gunk on the surface made of complex organic molecules called tholins. There are massive volcanoes that spew ice and slush instead of lava. All of this points to a warm core, and maybe, just maybe, a huge liquid water ocean sloshing around under that frozen crust. And this amazing little world isn't some lonely outcast. It is the crown jewel of the Kuiper Belt. You can think of the Kuiper Belt as our solar system's attic, or maybe its junkyard, just filled with all these ancient icy leftovers from when the planets were forming. And that just leaves us with this final, incredible thought. Pluto's story shows us that sometimes our greatest discoveries come from our biggest mistakes. It proves our assumptions can be spectacularly wrong. So if a world this dynamic, this complex, was hiding in what we thought was just the solar system's junk pile, what other amazing treasures are still out there, just waiting for us to find them?